Early exchange, shaping policy, advancing development.
Glad to know you're still tuned into Early Exchange. Now, since 2015, or what you might say 2015, Nigeria has seen protest as a result of economic challenges. And these protests have changed the social political landscape in the sub Saharan African nation. Now, in recent time, or most recently, Lagos, Nigeria, saw the protests rock some parts of the state. Of course, a court injunction limiting these protest actions to two main locations. But 4 days after the initial day one protest, some sort of normalcy has returned to Lagos, Nigeria. Businesses have resumed, banks have opened, and it feels like the commercial nerve of the West African nation is back on track. However, some states in the north continue to experience these protests, with curfews imposed in states like Kaduna, Zaria. We also do have in the studio on set with me the head of news, Kayode Shopekan. Had to add a bit of accentuation. You were here on the first day, Kayode, with us. You went out, you saw the city of Lagos. What has changed in the past few days for you?
Okay, so for me, I would say things are gradually beginning to pick up. You would say the regular hustle and bustle in Lagos is back.
Okay.
You know, banks are back, shops are opening, supermarkets are gradually, coming alive again. The markets are also coming alive. So you can see that normalcy
And the
is
traffic is back.
that's enough. That's enough. You can't do anything to that. So things are gradually picking up. Um, uh, you find out that you can do whatever you used to do before the protest began. You can just go about and do that now as things are gradually beginning to pick up.
But then, if we had to juxtapose this with what's happening in northern Nigeria, in some states, Kaduna, it seems to be in the news, and everybody wants to be abreast with what's happening there. What do you make out of, that if you had to compare in terms of businesses that would go down, that would have to be closed for the period of this? It feels like they want to go the full haul of the protest because initially the organizers had said from the 1st to the 10th, in as much as we still have pockets of protest in Lagos by a few individuals, but it's stronger in the north. What do you think this would do to the economy and the business landscape over there?
Okay, so basically this cripples business. It affects the economy. There's no way businesses are shut down that the economy is not suffering, and Nigeria on a larger scale is suffering from whatever businesses that operates in such states. So what you have is that losses are being registered, losses are being recorded. Now, as you can see in Lagos, normalcy is gradually coming back, but it doesn't mean that Lagos also did not experience or witness its own share, its own bit of losses. But taking a look at it, put it side by side, you say these guys have decided to go on the long haul. And don't forget, even those in Lagos, the protesters in Lagos, though they have reduced, but they are still saying that they will continue the protest until further notice, because in their view, the president did not address their demands. But be that as it may, economic activities are picking up. Now, when you look at the north, you find out that because of the way things have been handled by the security agencies, it has made things escalate.
Okay.
So by the reason of the fact that it has escalated, it is now going to affect economic activities the more. Okay, we are going to find it hard to pick up business activities in states like Zamfara for a while.
Yeah.
Until there is a similitude of peace and calmness before every other person can think of going back, because you won't want to go back to your shop or to your business and get hoodlums come and attack you. You won't want to go back to your business and find police in the process of trying to address the situation shoot at you or do something that would affect your business. So businesses are still going to be shut down. And like I said before, it is affecting the economy. Nigeria is losing. Nigerians are also losing because those who have those businesses, who run those businesses, are suffering. They are losing gains. They are losing profits.
Well, not a good time to experience all of this, especially considering the fact that globally there's an economic challenge. The dollar against the naira, the dollar against the yen. Whatever currency you want to put some of these the currencies I've mentioned, the dollar, the naira, too. It just feels like it's struggling. And when you have these protests rock the nation, it feels like we're only doing more harm. Now, a lot of persons who are complaining as a result of the initial drop in comparison, like if you had to put the naira against the dollar, some of the persons who are protesting are saying the economic hardship we're experiencing, dollar is high. It's gone up, stuff like that. The common man who is on the street is also attributing the current challenge to the dollar. And then when you now have this protest, some school of thought believes it gets worse. And so, to protest or not to protest becomes the question and the order of the day. We saw persons on the other side of the divide who were anti protesters, people who were protesting against
The
the
protesters.
protesters, join in the protest eventually. And so, this wind, which is seemingly a thing across African nations, it's not just happening in Nigeria. We're having pockets of these in Kenya,
Kenya, Uganda.
and then Bangladesh. We also saw the prime minister leave the presidential palace on an army aircraft just a couple of hours, and we had people take over there. Now, the normalcy that has returned in Lagos, is that some glimmer of hope? Or do you think we'll be sucked back in? Do you envisage that this would be like the wrapping up will be completely out of harm's way? Or do you think we might just be sucked right in because of what's happening over there in the northern part of Nigeria?
Okay, so if you, I was at Ojota yesterday and I spoke with one of the conveners,
Yeah.
and he was appealing to Labour NLC to join them in the protest. Now, if that appeal is heeded by NLC, there will be trouble. There will be serious trouble because as it is now, it looks like things are gradually fading out. The protesters are reducing by the day. But if NLC or TUC joins this protest, it will take a different turn. It will take a different shape.
Yeah.
You understand? So, as it is, we can say it is winding down.
They have sorted NLC and TUC.
Well, that's you speaking. I wasn't there. I don't know about that.
If I had to bring in the NLC TUC scenario, I think an analyst who I had followed, I can't remember the exact name, so I don't want to misquote someone, said, 30,000 naira back then, 15 years ago, it has more value than 70,000 naira, which the NLC has agreed to.
I agree.
So
Because
the purchasing power,
has reduced. One, two, exchange rate is soaring higher on a daily basis. So if you compare a dollar to a naira
Back then.
rate back then, and you compare it now,
about 160,
you see the
and
astronomical
now
difference.
1,600.
So it makes you understand that this 70K that was agreed to by NLC doesn't cut it. It doesn't make any difference. It doesn't change anything. Okay. So let's look at, we just start with tariff, electricity tariff, and you look at how much band A have to pay for
Power supply,
1 kilowatt,
1 unit.
1 unit. Sorry, 1 unit. That is about 1,000 naira something. So if you are earning 70,000, by the time you have subscribed for electricity for 1 month, what is left of the 70,000 naira? Can you go to the office? Can you buy food?
That's if you're living in band A area.
If you're using band A. So and the cuts are close because it doesn't only affect band A people, it affects every other band. You understand? But by and large, the 70,000 naira doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
You and I know that before you enter the commercial vehicle from your place to the office, it's not the same as what it used to be in 2012. You understand? So I don't know what was the rationale, what were the yardstick, what were the criteria that were used to arrive at that 70,000 naira. But 70,000 naira is not the solution.
Well, the yen has fallen against the dollar and a 38-year low. I mean, if you look at how long that has been, we've not seen the kind of fall that the yen has experienced in the last 38 years. And to actually try to stabilize the yen, the Japanese authorities enacted some policies. They spent about 5.5 trillion naira. I'll tell you what it is in dollars to try to see if they can reduce the volatility of the yen and stabilize the currency. But what impact will this make on the economy of Japan? Can the policies that have been put in place actually improve and stabilize the yen?
Early exchange, shaping policy, advancing development.